Jai Jinendra, we'll start the class. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Loe Savasahunam, Mangalam Bhagwan Viro, Mangalam Gautamo Gani. Mangalam Kunda Kundaryo Jain Dharmostu Mangalam Sarva Mangal Mangalyam Sarva Kalyan Karakam Pradhanam Sarva Dharmanam Jainam Jayatu Shasanam Jainam Jayatu Shasanam तीन भुवन में सार वीतराग विज्ञानता शिव स्वरूप शिव का नमः त्रियोग संहारिके जय जिनेन्द्र. We are discussing Pandit Daulat Ram Ji's Chhah Dhala, which is one of the most popular, you can say, small shastras that is studied by a lot of people. And it is very interesting, very easy to understand, and in its very small composition. By now, you must have realized it has a lot of deep concepts, and almost everything across the Jinwani has been covered across the six dhals by Pandit Daulat Ramji. In the last class, we had completed till 10th stanza of third dhal, and the discussion was mainly about the nature of the Sat Tattva or the seven elements, and it was under the umbrella of Vyavahar Samyak Darshan or the conventional form of right belief. So we understood that real right belief or Nishchay Samyak Darshan was the absolute engagement of the soul's consciousness in its own self experience. So the belief in the self was Nishchay Samyak Darshan, knowing the self was Nishchay Samyak Gyan, and the stability in the self or complete engrossment in the self was Nishchay Samyak Charitra. Now we are describing Vyavhar Samyak Darshan in that we understood the nature of the Sat Tattvas or the seven elements, whose firm belief with assured conviction leads to attainment of the real right belief or Nishchay Samyak Darshan. Now, continuing with our description of Vyavhar Samyak Darshan, there is description of Ath Ang or the eight components of right belief and the 25 flaws or the 25 dosh. So those who are Samyak Drashti Jeev, they exhibit the eight components, very effortlessly in their lives. And we will see what these eight components are, and also the 25 faults they continuously avoid, because these faults cause, error in the Samyak Darshan, and there is always the fear of falling back into delusion or Mithya Darshan. So these 25 faults are to be avoided, and the eight components are to be adopted in your life. I'll just share my screen. Meanwhile, if there is any question, then please, you can just ask me. Yeah. Hmm. So we will start with stanza 11. Vasu Mad Tari. So Vasu means eight. Mad means pride. Okay, so eight types of pride. Tari means one must avoid. So first thing is avoid the eight types of pride. Then Nivari Trishathata. Nivarna means again remove or avoid them. Trishathata means three kinds of stupidities or foolishness or ignorance. So remove the eight kinds of pride, three types of stupidities or ignorance. Then Shat Anayatan Tyago. Shat is six. Anayatan means the places which you should not go. Ayatan are the good places or the places where you should go.
Ram, ram, ram.
Anayatan is the exact opposite. These are the places. Yeah, Chaitanya Prakash, you are saying something? I can't catch you. You can just type it in the chat if there is a question. So Anayatan are the places which we should not go to. So Tyago, renounce these 6 places of where we should not go. Shanka dik vasu dosh bina. Vasu, again I said, is 8. Dosh are the flaws. And what are these flaws? So Shanka adik. Shanka, Kanksha, Murta. So these dosh we will see in the subsequent stanzas. So without these forms of dosh, now let us just count. So Vasu Mad, 8 Mad. So 8 plus Nivari 3 Shatata, 3 types of stupidities. So 8 plus 3 is 11. Shat Anayatan, so plus 6. 11 plus 6 is what? 17. And then plus 8. Shankadik Vasu Dosh. So 8 kinds of dosh. So that is total is 25. So these are the 25 faults which one has to consciously avoid. All these faults will be described in the subsequent stanzas. Now, Samvega Dik Chit Pago. So there are 4 kinds of qualities. Samveg के बाद आदिक है. So samveg etc. So samveg itself means the fear of worldly cycle, fear of births and deaths, and fear of transmigration. Now the one who has understood the true nature of dharma and the nature of the soul, he is afraid of falling back into the cycle of transmigration. This is known as samveg. The other one is anukampa. Anukampa means a feeling of compassion towards all the living souls. So Samyak Drishti's soul has this compassion towards all the living beings, whether they are his enemies, friends, foes, from one-sensed beings to, multi-sensed organisms. They have a compassionate heart, which is anukampa. Another one is prasham. Prasham means a state of mild passions. So because they have destroyed the Anantanubandhi Kashai, their state of passion is mild. They don't exhibit the severe passions like the other Mithya Drashti deluded souls do. And the fourth one is Astikai. Astikai, it means that one has complete faith in the omniscient lords and his teaching. Then one has, complete faith and enthusiasm in the dharma and dharma fal. So they are quite enthusiastic about participating in the path of religion. Now their interest in the sensory desires, in the worldly things has reduced, and their consciousness is engaged towards the path of liberation. So samvegadik, I described 4 things. They are also given behind: samveg, prasham, anukampa, and astikai. So these are the qualities that are naturally seen in the samyak drashti souls. Those who have joined late, we are describing the conventional path, conventional Samyak Darshan or Vyavhar Samyak Darshan. We already saw the nature of 7 elements as a part of Vyavhar Samyak Darshan, and now we are seeing what 25 faults do Samyak Drashti Jeev don't have, and what are the qualities or the components that they exhibit. Okay, in that we saw the 25 faults as 8 kinds of pride, 3 kinds of stupidities, 6 types of anayatan or places which you should avoid, and 8 kinds of dosh or flaws which are shanka and others. All of these will be described in the subsequent stanzas. And samvegadik chit pago, so samveg, prasham, astika, and anukampa, these are the 4 qualities which are seen in the lives of Samyak Drashti ji. Now, Asht Ang Aru Dosh Pachiso, 8 components and 25 flaws. Tin Sankshep hu kahiye. Pandit Daulat Ram ji always tells what he is going to describe next. So now he is going to describe these 8 components of right belief and the 25 faults in quite brief. And why he is describing, now this is a very good line. बिन जाने ते दोष गुणन को कैसे तजिए गहिए. Without understanding what is a flaw and what is an attribute to be adopted, how will I be able to, adopt or renounce? So how can I decide hey and upadey without understanding the nature of these flaws and the nature of the components? So that is why it is very important to understand these. So these are seen in the life of Samyak Drashti Jeev as a byproduct of Samyak Darshan. Okay, they are Vyavhar Samyak Darshan's attributes. But when we understand these 8 components, consciously we try to adopt these qualities in our life. These are the qualities that increase the patrata or vishuddhata of the soul and, help us move ahead in the path of liberation. So for us, this is like a learning. Do we miss these qualities in our life? Then these are the ones that we should consciously start adopting. So we will read. So these are the 8 components of right faith, which we will discuss. Nishankit, Nikankshit, Nirvichikitsa, Amud Drashti, Upguhan, Sthitikaran, Vatsalya, and Prabhavna. They do have English terms, but I would like you all to, at least understand these Hindi terminology as well, because they are quite, complete in themselves and they convey a very much deeper meaning. This page has all the 25 faults. So first I said Vasu Mad, 8 types of pride. So what are these pride? We will see in the next stanza, but they have mentioned over here. What are the 8 dosh? So these 8 components, opposite of these are the 8 dosh. So Nishankit, then the opposite is Shanka, is a dosh. Nikankshit, so Kanksha is a dosh. Nirvichikitsa, so Vichikitsa is a dosh. Amud Drashti, then Murdha is a dosh. So you will see here exactly opposite of all the 8. These are the 8 kind of faults. So 8 plus 8, 16. Now 3 Murta, stupidities. So Dev Murta, not understanding the true swarup of God or Dev whom I should worship. So in short, worshipping Kudev. Then Dharma Murta, not knowing the true religion, worshipping religion which promotes rag, violence, and other things. And Guru Murta, not understanding the true nature of a guru or an ascetic. So these are the 3. So 8 plus 8, 16 plus 3, 19. And these are 6 Anayatan. Anayatan means what? Again, same. Kudev and his followers, Kuguru and his follower, Kudharma and his followers. So all of these, now you will notice that again and again we are coming across this Kudev, Kuguru, Kushastra. So you understand that it is extremely important to understand the true nature of God's scriptures and ascetics, and also to renounce or abandon your affiliation with false gods, false scriptures, and false ascetics. Why so? Because unless and until you get this part right, you will not get the true Upadesh. If you are following multiple things, you will not be able to know the right sermon or the right message which is going to lead you to the path of liberation. So, understanding the nature of God, Dharma, Guru is like the first primary criteria before starting even attempting Samyak Darshan. Okay. So, in the preliminary stage itself, your belief regarding Dev Shastra Guru has to be absolutely flawless. We will read this. Subha madam, please read.
Yes, D. Shall I read it from in order to maintain that?
Yes.
In order to attain right faith, one should avoid 25 faults. They are as follows. 8 types of rights, Mada. 8 types of stupidities, Mudata, Shatata. 6 types of worthless places of false religion, Anayatan. 8 demerits, Dosha. The person with the right faith will put his concentration towards fear of transmigration, Samvega, kindness to all living creatures, Anukampa, faith in omniscient lords, Astikya, and restraining of mind from passion, Prasham. In the next stanza, the nature of these 25 faults and 8 compounds will be described. It is necessary for one to know the faults so he can give them up and know the components so he can accept them.
Okay, are we clear so far?
Yes, D.
Yeah. So now we will start with the description of Samyak Darshan ke 8 ang, the 8 components of right faith. Now, in our body also, the human body looks pleasant if it has all the body parts and all the organs. How will the body look if there is one hand missing or one leg missing or some finger missing? So the body can exist, but it does not look pleasant if any anga is missing. In the same way, these eight components are like, you can see, the body parts of right faith. Now, if there is dosh in either one, it is not necessary that Samyak Darshan will go away, but its glory, its shobha will be diminished. So these eight angs are quite important, and Samyak Drashti Jeev are, quite vigilant about all of these, and they follow this path. So the first one is Ni Shankit Ang. Now, all these eight Ang have their own stories, and the YouTube links I will share with all of you. I won't tell you all the stories in this class, but as homework, it is mandatory, compulsory. I'm going to ask in tomorrow's class. So, everybody has to watch those stories and understand what the Ang is about. So, Jin Vach Me Shanka Na. Absolute no doubt in the sermons of omniscience. Now, the Samyadrashti Jeev has the true faith in God's scriptures and monks. As a result, he has attained the right belief by following the sermons of true gods. So he has no doubts in any of the message of the gods. Like he doesn't doubt ki who has seen infinite Jeevan potato? Can you see in the microscope? I don't trust. Who has seen Swarg Narak? Who has seen transmigration? Who has seen karma? I don't believe in karma. So they do not have such kind of doubts. They are absolutely doubtless in the nature of elements as described by Jinendra Bhagwan. Yeah, Chaitanya Prakash ji, you're saying something? Chaitanya Prakash ji, we can't hear you. So you can actually message me if there is any doubt, and we can clear it up in that way. Yeah. So I will read these each components as I go on explaining, so that it is quite clear. Okay. So the first one, doubtlessness, having no doubt. Ni shankit ang. One obtains right faith, one obtains faith in the nature of elements. He knows the real nature and not any other way. This is known as doubtlessness in elements or Nishankit Ang. He has absolute clarity in the fundamentals in the seven elements, and as a result of which he has obtained the right belief or Samyak Darshan. So he doesn't have doubt. And because of this doubtlessness, another corollary or the side effect of it is that they don't have the seven kinds of bhai or the fears. So they don't have the fear of death, the fear of next birth, the fear of transmigration, the fear of pain, agony, fear of somebody looting them. So all these worldly fears or insecurities, they are, they plague the Mithya Drashti Jeev. Like people are worried about everything in the world and not about their soul. But the Samyak Drashti Jeev, because they have no doubt in these elements, they know that they are a pure soul, nobody can harm them, they remain pure, untouched in the wake of all adversities. So they don't have any kinds of worldly fears. They are absolutely nirbhay. Now the second one, dhar vrish bhav sukh vacha bhano. So in exchange of religion, Samyak Drashti Jeev do not desire worldly pleasures. They have no, kind of ichha. Like I am following this religion, as a result, I become Indra in the next birth, or a Dev, or Chakravarti, Raja, etc., etc. They don't have any such worldly desires, because why they don't have? Just think, because they have understood, no, their true sukh or true happiness lies within. They have tasted that supreme bliss within, so they don't desire any of the sensual pleasures, any of fame, name, money, nothing. Their religion, they follow the religion without any expectations and without any worldly desires. So one does not have desire in the fruits of religious activities performed by him. This is ni kankshit. Kanksha means desire. Ni kankshit means without any desire. So people who have desires in exchange of religion, like itna upvas karke, itna punya karke ye milega. So these desires are actually false. One does not do any religious activity for any worldly gain or benefit. Otherwise, what is the use? Any effort which we do, any purusharth in dharma, is to completely eradicate this cycle of transmigration. We don't desire punya and devgati. It comes as a side effect because of the vishuddha bhav. You understand? Having these kind of desires is a fault. It is actually nidan bandh, it is papa bandh, it is artha dhyan, and it leads to birth in the lower states of existence. So, in any activity you do, if you are having these kind of desires, then you should really correct your belief. Now, the third one is nirvichikitsa. Muni tan malin na dekh ghinave. Now, if you all know, the monks, they have a vow of not taking a bath, of not brushing their teeth, and of not decorating their body. So their bodies are full of dust, and they are not clean, right? But the Samyadrashti soul identifies Muniraj by the Ratnatraya Dharma. They are following Ratnatraya Dharma. As a result, they are intensely pure from within. So seeing their outwardly, ugly bodies or malformed bodies, he does not feel any kind of a disgust. Ghin ana is what? Having disgust or repulsion at their sight. But Samyak Drashti Jiva has intense bhakti for Muniraj, so they do not feel such kind of disgust. So this is nirvi chikitsa. Looking at the unclean body of the ascetic, one is not to be disgusted. This is known as non-repugnance at the afflicted one, or nirvi chikitsa. Okay. So the stories in Nishankit Ang, there is story of Anjan Chor. In Nikamshitang, there is story of Anantmati Sati, and in Nirvichikitsa, there is a story of Udayan Raja. So when you listen to these stories, your concept of all these ang will become much more clear. Okay. And to understand with simple example, now if a mother sees her child is having a dirty diaper, okay. So does the mother feel hatred for the child? She never feels that, right? She understands that the child is pure, the dirt is external. In the same way, looking at Muniraj, the Samyadrashti soul never feels any kind of disgust. Tattva kutattva pichano. The fourth is amud drashti. Amud drashti means what? They are without any mudta or foolishness. They have understood the real nature of elements and can identify them from the false practices. That this is true dharma and this is false. Like they will not get swayed by things like, oh, Bhagwan is drinking milk, I will go and offer. Or, keeping this vrat will give me this benefit. Or doing this jap will do, like Mahamrutyunjay jap karne se I can avoid mrutyu. By doing this kind of vrat, I can get wealth. So all of these things are kutatva, and they understand, all these stupidities and completely avoid them. So, fourth one performs the test to find out the true nature of elements and does not get involved in worthless things. This is known as non-stupidity in the omniscient Lord, holy scriptures, and the enlightened teachers. So, again, the same thing has come, that they are knowing the nature of true gods, true scriptures, and true guru, and do not go behind any other false entities. The fourth one. So, till now, Nishankit, Nikangshit, Nirvichikitsa, Amud Drashti. We have covered four. Now the fifth one. Nij gun aru par avgun dhake va nij dharma badhave. Nij gun means what? He does not praise himself. First thing is that he does not get involved in his own self praise. Like how influencers do today. They praise themselves all the time on social media. Samyak Drashti Jiv avoid any kind of self praise. और पर के अवगुण ढाके. Now others faults, the faults of others also, he is not going to publicly declare them, that this person has done so and so thing. Okay. Va nij dharma badhave. The third part in this upguhan ang is to increase in one's own spiritual qualities. So fifth one is upguhan ang. First part was that they do not get engaged in self praise. They do not condemn others openly in front of others. On the contrary, they hide their faults. Now, this is not some kind of a Maya Chari, but you understand that a good parent will always, in front of others, what will they do? Will they list out the faults of their children? Oh, my child is useless, this, that. A good parent will always highlight the good qualities of their children in front of others. But when they are alone, they will try to discipline them that what you did, what you said, etc., is not good. So, this is actually good parenting. Condemning your children in front of others only demoralizes them, and in turn, it shows your bad parenting. In the same way, Samyak Drashti Jeev, he does not, condemn his co-religionist in front of others. He will take these matters in private, but in front of others, he will try to conceal those faults. Now, a simple reason is that Jin Dharma prescribes a particular path. Now, some person is not able to follow that path. Because of that person, the entire religion will, get defamed. Like some vrati person is having some fault, he is taking some abhaksh or something. Now Samyak Drashtiji understands that that is the fault of that person and not of the religion. Opening these faults, what it will cause? It will cause defamation to the entire path, to the entire sangh. So they try to sort these matters in private, and in front of others they are only highlighting others good. Okay, so this is upguhan ang. Hmm. One is careful not to get engrossed in his praise or in seeing the faults of others. This way he keeps his soul pure. Okay. So upguhan, there is also in some shastras it is given as upbrihan. Upbrihan means that you have to increase the purity of your soul, increase the spiritual powers or the meditative power of your soul. So this way he keeps his soul pure. This is known as developing the spiritual qualities. Upaguhan. Now the sixth one is Sthitikaran. Kama dik kar vrishte chigte nij par ko sudridhave. Kama dik means what? The desires that arise because of all the kam vasna. You understand? So all these kind of dosh that arise. So kama dik. So any kind of passions. So kam is actually also for all the passions. Okay. So due to anger, due to envy, due to any kind of the passion that rises, what happens is the person who is following the religion is going to get strayed from his path. So when he sees that his co-religionist is getting strayed from the path of religion because of the rise of passions, he does everything in his अपने हाथ में जो भी होता है तन मन धन से he will try to get that person back. He may use trickery, he may use service, he may do seva, he may spend his money or whatever he can do, he will do, so that the other person who has fallen astray will come back. Like suppose somebody has got a big business loss because of which his um, stability in the religion has gone down. So this Samyak Drashti soul will selflessly donate, contribute. If somebody has got some other kind of fault, he will go out of his way. This is known as Sthiti Karan Ang. So Nij Parko. So if you yourself have gone astray, then getting yourself back, pulling yourself back is also Sthiti Karan. So in my course itself, whenever I was like, sir, I want to leave the class, he always used to, by all the means, get me back. No, no, this is the most important thing. Okay, you give exams late, you give submissions late, I will give you extra deadline. So all these things are also sthiti karan. Somebody is not able to attend class and you are helping them, explaining them what is given. So all these things fall under sthiti karan. In sthiti karan, there is story of Varish and Muniraj, and it is a very nice story. He was a prince. Just saying this story. He was a prince, and he took Diksha, and one of his fellow Muniraj, he was, missing his wife a lot, and his uh, concentration was not being steadfast in the soul. So Varish and Muniraj took that other Muniraj to his palace. And in his palace, that other Muniraj saw Varish and Muni had 32 beautiful queens. He had so much wealth, Sone ka Singhasan, Chandi ki thali, all of those things. And still, he is not missing any of that. and I am living in a small hut. I have just one wife who is also not as beautiful, and still I'm not able to concentrate on religion. So seeing this, that other Muniraj understood that, no, this is the only thing worthwhile pursuing. So this is what Sthitikaran is. That if somebody else is faltering, we do everything in our way to help them get back to the path of true religion. So when the person or someone else, so if you yourself are also getting astray, there are rise of passions, happens to all the chadmas, the jeev, there are some intense desires coming, and then you yourself get yourself back that, oh no, this is the wrong way. I have to focus on the right path. So that is also sthiti karan. When the person or someone else is getting away from the right faith due to rise of passions, then to pull back in the religion is known as stabilization in the religion or sthiti karan. Okay. So now the other two come in this stanza. The seventh one is Vatsalya Ang. So you all know the story of Raksha Bandhan, Vishnu Kumar Muniraj. He abandoned his Diksha and went out of the way to protect the 700 Muniraj. So that is Vatsalya. Dharmi saw Gau Vacha Priti Sam. The way a cow loves his calf. The cow's love for the calf is so selfless. I mean, humans love their children, but a lot of time there is a lot of selfishness involved. But the cow, loving a calf, there is no selfishness. The cow is not going to be his budhape ki lathi. But still, for the cow stands in front of the lion. Okay. She will allow the lion to kill him, but not her calf. So that kind of unconditional love is what a sadharmi has for another sadharmi. This is known as vatsalya. That I will go to any extent to, show my love, dharma bhavna, and it is for dharma that others also get. So people build all these dharmashalas and mandirs and give all free education to, Jain children. So all of this falls in Vatsalya. They have love for their co-religionists and they are doing seva in that direction. So Vatsalya Ang, yeah. In this stanza, the remaining two components are described. Okay, so one shows love towards co-religionist, like the cow showing love to her calf. This is known as Vatsalyang. And the story I already said, Vishnu Kumar Muniraj, he abandoned his Diksha to protect the 700 Muniraj and again took Diksha at a lower position. So this is a big thing, but he did this out of Vatsalya for the fellow Muniraj. Now, Kari Jin Dharma Vidhi Pave. The eighth and the last one is Prabhavna Amri. So there is one very famous line, Aradhak hi prabhavak hota hai. One who himself has done true aradhana, or one who himself has attained Ratnatraya or Samyak Darshan, who himself knows the true religion, can do prabhavna. Prabhavna means what? Glorification of the religion, spreading the good name of the religion. So Samyak Drashti Jeev have this, they have tasted the inner bliss and they have seen how joyful this path is. So, in their wake, they will do everything to glorify the religion. They will try to bring any and everyone in this path. Like, for example, if you go to one store and you find really good stuff at good prices, so how many people you will call? You'll call your mother, you'll call your sisters, you'll call your friends. Oh, that place, it has very good stuff. Go there. So, if you have some benefit, so you want to pass on that benefit to all the others in your circle. In this way, Samyak Drashti Jeev has seen the real benefit within. Mera Atma Sukh ka sagar hai. He has tasted that bliss and that gives him the, this unconditional bhavna that I want all the other souls to experience the same kind of bliss. And that is why you see Samyak Drashti souls involved in doing translations and writing books across the generations in the last 2000 years. People like Pandit Todarmal ji, they gave up their life for this prabhavna. So if you see the story of Mokshar Prakashak, he was actually killed by the king over there because of writing some things about the other religions, about the Kudev Guru Kushastra. But at the cost of it also he did Prabhavana of Jin Dharma, realizing that his life is not as valuable as the message that he is passing on. So this is the power of Prabhavana Ang, and all these eight, Nishankit, Nikankshit, then Nirvichikitsa, Amud Drashti, Sthitikaran, Upguhan, Prabhavana, and Vatsalya. All of these are like, jewels in the crown of Samyak Darshan. And you can see that their flawless belief in their self, naturally gives rise to these attributes in their outwardly conduct. So as I already said, this is Vyavhar Samyak Darshan. Most of these are Shubh Bhav. But these Shubh Bhav are seen naturally in the life of Samyak Drashti Jeev. Then why should we understand them? Because at our level also, we also should have no Shanka in Jin Vachan. Wherever you have a doubt, you will not be able to follow anything if you keep on having those doubts. So if you have questions, you have to solve. But if you doubt the validity, whether this is true or no, now that kind of Shanka is different. That is a dosh in Samyak Gyan. Okay, Shanka, Viparyay, Anadya, Vasai is dosh in your Samyak Gyan. If you don't understand something and you ask, that is an ang of Swadhyay. Okay, Vachna, Puchna. So not asking out of curiosity is encouraged. But doubting what Bhagwan has said is a dosh and a fault, and it will not allow you to proceed ahead on the path of liberation. Okay. So now all these eight are gun. In gun te vipareet dosh vasu. These eight are gun, and opposite to them are the eight flaws. So you will understand the flaws. Nishankitanga I explained you. So having shanka. Then nikankshitang means having no desires. So in exchange of following dharma, the one who has desires is kanksha gun, is kanksha dosh. The third one was nirvichikitsa, so not feeling disgust seeing munis, bodies. So if you feel that disgust, that is a dosh, chikitsa. Fourth one, murta, belief in false tattvas, false elements is murta. The fifth one is anupguhan, praising yourself and also saying out the faults of others is anupguhan. Sthitikaran, somebody is straying from the path and you, okay, let's go. You want to go for a movie? I will also come with you. You want to miss the class and go for a movie? Okay, let's both go together. So that kind is asthitikaran. You're straying them further away from the path. Or somebody is studying here and you are watching TV on the other side and, causing disturbance. So all of these dosh need to be avoided. Then Vatsalya, you are having jealousy for your co-religionist instead of selfless love. Aprabhavana, instead of glorifying the religion, you are spoiling its name. So these are the dosh which we should avoid in our lives. Okay. Tinko satat khipave. Now we are describing from this the 8 types of pride. Pride or the mud. Aunt mud, we said no. Vasu mad tari. So 8 mud. So what are these 8 mud or pride? So pita bhupva matul nrupjo. You are proud because your father or the father's lineage is of kings, industrialists, rich persons. So people have that pride. Oh, तुम जानते नहीं हो मेरा बाप कौन है. I belong to a minister family or some affluential family. You have that pride. Matul and Ruk, mother's side is influential. The kings or anything like your mama, your nana. So that is another pride. Hoina to madatane. So having pride for your heredity or your lineage. These are the two. Kul mad and jati mad. Okay. So Pita's side is kul, Mata's side is jati. Okay. So kul mad and jati mad too. Mad na roop ko. Pride because of the beauty. Number 3. Mad na gyan ko. Pride because of your knowledge, intelligence, wisdom. One feels proud. Fourth one. Dhan bal ko mad bhane. Dhan, pride of your wealth. And bal, pride of the strength of the body. Okay. So all these mad, can you imagine why Samyak Drishti Ji won't have these? They have done Bhed Vigyan and realized that they are distinct from the body, distinct from the external thing, distinct from all these associations. So they don't identify themselves with their strength or beauty or the money, wealth, lineage. Atma to bhin hai na. I am completely distinct from all of this. So their worth is not associated to these temporary things of this birth. That is why they don't have pride of any of these things. They know all of this is worth renouncing. है ना? This is like what kak wheat some. This is like crow's shit. The crow's shit, you don't even look twice. So all of these things, the worldly associations are not at all worthy. They are not something to be proud of. Rather, it is something to renounce and something to really abandon. So they don't have any kind of pride or any of these. So this we will read. Aditi ji, read. We have already read till Prabhavana. Yeah.
Opposite of these 8 virtues are the 8 demerits to be destroyed. There is a description of 25 different types of faults associated with the right faith. The demerits, that is, opposite of the 8 virtues, are described above. 8 types of prides are discussed below. The first 6 of which are in this stanza. One may have pride due to paternal success, that is, father being a king. This is pride of heredity, kul mad. One may have pride due to maternal success. This is the pride of caste, jati mad. One may have pride due to a handsome body. This is known as the pride of physique, sharir mad. One may have pride due to the capacity to grasp because of sharp intellect. This is known as pride of knowledge, Gyan Mad. One may have pride of his wealth, Dhan Mad. One may have pride due to his strength, Bal Mad.
Okay, so 6 are described in this stanza. The remaining 2 we'll see here. Tap ko mad na. People feel pride because of their ability to do tap. I can fast 30 days in a row. I can do 8 upas without any water. This kind of tap mad. I can do jatra, 6 jatra without food and water. All of those things people have a pride for. Madna prabhuta ko. Prabhuta means your affluence, whenever I come, the room is silent. Everybody stands up when I come. So that kind of authority, if somebody has, they have the pride for that. But Samyak Drashti Jeev do not have pride for this thing. So kare na so nij jane. They don't, associate themselves with their affluence or with their tap or any of these things. Madhare, if they exhibit pride, to yahi dosh vasu. So these 8 flaws, samyak komal jane. These 8 kinds of flaws will tarnish their right belief. If there is a rise of man kashai because of any of these things, and of course anantanubandhi man is not there, but the other 3 types of man are there, and it is possible that something or the other may rise, but that will result in a dosh in samyak darshan. And if it is too much, then gunasthan can also fall from fourth to first. Okay, so they are constantly alert and aware to avoid all these flaws in their dispositions. Okay, so now we described 8 dosh ho gaye, right? 8 dosh we saw because we saw the 8 ang. Opposite of them are 8 dosh. Now we saw 8 pride. So 8 plus 8, 16 we have covered. कुदेव कुगुरु क्रुविश सेवक की नहीं प्रशंस उचरे है जिन मुनि जिन श्रुत बिन कुगुरादिक तिन्हे न नमन करे है. Okay, so now we are seeing 3 murta or 6 anayatan. We are seeing anayatan and murta together. Okay, so Kuguru, Kudev, Kuvrish, and their sevak. So false gods, false gurus, and false dharma or false religion, and the people who follow them. So 3 plus 3, 6. So these are the 6 anayatans. So what the Samyak Drashti did? Nahi prashans puch rahe hai. They do not praise them or they do not get involved in them. They do not do anumodana of these activities. They are not involved in any of these. So they avoid the 6 anayatan. Jin muni jin shrut bin kuguradik tinhe na naman kare hai. They do not even bow down to the false entities. So in Ashtapahud, there is one gatha ki because of fear, pride, or any kind of lobe, okay, greed. One, even if there is fear, like fear of my head being cut off, or any kind of lobe of getting something, or any kind of man or pride, one should not bow down to false gods, false gurus, or false scriptures. Because even by doing namaskar or naman, you are going to lose Samyak Darshan. Samyak Drashti Jeev are okay getting beheaded, but they will not, bow down to false gods. And in this case, story of Akalank and Nikalank Muniraj, one must see that Nikalank Muniraj lost his life. Akalank, Nikalank, two brothers. So that time they were not Munis. So he lost his life, but did not follow the false religion. You understand? So this is the kind of dradta or the firmness one needs to have in true gods, true scriptures, and true gurus. You understand? Again and again, I'm saying this thing is coming repeatedly because it is one of the most important things one needs to, have clarity about to proceed ahead on the path of liberation. Okay. Priyanka ji, read.
One should not feel proud of one's austerities, tapmad, and one's authority. If one does not feel proud in its various forms, one can know one's self. If one keeps these prides, it tarnishes one's right faith with these 8 prides. A right believer never praises or pays reverence to the false preceptor or his followers, false lords and his followers, and false religion and his followers. He only pays obedience,
Obeisance.
obeisance, to the omniscient lords, passionless naked ascetics, and the non-violence preaching Jain religion. The
Obeisance
remaining
is
two,
namaskar. Okay. Namaskar karna. Salutation.
the remaining two types of prides, mad, are as follows. One may have pride due to capacity of austerity, that is tapmad, and one may have pride due to his authority, that is pujamad.
This is just,
One,
I think, repeat. It's kind of a mistake, right?
yeah,
We
yeah.
have already read this. Yeah. Okay. Read the person.
The person with the right faith does not worship, give respect, or praise these entities, as in doing so will tarnish the right faith. Now there is description of 3 stupidities or mudata. To worship false
Mudhata.
teachers, mudata, to worship false teachers, kuguru seva, to worship false lords, kudev seva, to worship false religion, kudharma seva. This way, there is description of 25 faults of the right faith in the stanza number 11 to 14. The person with the right faith always keeps away from these faults.
Now read this. This is very nice.
One gets fearful if someone approaches him with knife. He also is afraid of snake, scorpion, enemy, or incurable disease. But one is not afraid of wrong belief, which is the reason for him to wander in transmigratory cycle of life and death. If he becomes fearful of this wrong belief, then will search for the true nature of the self. From
Do we understand? So right
yeah,
now we are afraid of the enemies. We are afraid of losses. We are afraid of diseases, but we are not afraid of delusion. We are not afraid of mithyatva, and all of the other things might just maximum kya hoga? You will end your life. Okay, maximum it may cause death, but mithyatva or delusion is causing infinite births and deaths. So when one has this real fear of transmigration, of falling back into the, first dhal ko yaad karo. Remember the first dhala. Kal anant nigod manjar. If I am not going to understand this right now, I might again go back in that nigod form. For how long? Anant Pudgal Paravartan. Like it is such a long time, and there are so many Jew who have never come out from nigod. If we have this opportunity right now, then nothing else should be more important. It should be like this is the only thing worth doing. And this is exactly what Daulat Ram ji is also going to say now. So the grandeur of right belief. So by now, you all might have, have some kind of vishwas that right belief is something which is worth attaining. It is the only thing worth pursuing. So let us see why. दोष रहित गुण सहित सुधीजे सम्यक दर्श सजे है. दोष रहित, which dosh? The 25 faults that we just saw. आठ शंकादिक 8 dosh, 8 types of pride, 3 types of murta, and 6 anayatan. These are the 25 faults. So avoiding these 25 faults, gun sahit, which were the gun we saw? So we saw nishankit, nikankshit, those 8, then samveg, astikay, anukampa, and prasham, 4. And several other gun also. Okay, so dosh rahit, gun sahit. Sudhi means enlightened one, the wise individual. दोष रहित गुण सहित सुधीजे सम्यक दर्श सजे है. So a person who has avoided these faults and who exhibits all these good qualities, such a wise person's samyak darshan, glorifies him. Saje hai. It beautifies him. Charit mohavesh lesh na sanyam pै sur nath jaje hai. Now, such a soul who is actually in the fourth Gunastan, right? Samyak Darshan, from the first Gunastan, he goes to the fourth Gunastan. In the fourth Gunastan, the name is Avirat Samyak Darshan. So there are no austerities, no vows. He is also, like you and me. Externally, you cannot identify a fourth Gunastan Varti Jeev because they are in the family, they are with children, they are doing business, they are earning money. Everything they are doing what we do. Okay. So Charitra Moha Vash, because of Charitra Moha means because of the three passions, Apratyakhana Varan, Pratyakhyana Varan, and Sanjwalan Kashai. So because of these passions that are still with that soul, Leshana Sayam, even a bit of Sayam or a bit of austerity, he has not taken. He cannot follow any kinds of vows because of the Charitra Moha or because of Apratyakhana Varan Kashai. And even though he does not show any vows, Pe Suranath Jaje hai. Suranath means Indra. The Devs, the celestial beings, they still adore him. They still, say that Tumhari Dhanya hai. They are still, you can say, in admiration of these souls. Even though they are not following any austerities, they are still in sansar, they are still doing business, they are still in family, they are still enjoying with their wives and children. But still, they are admirable. In contrast, a Mithyadrashti soul has, renounced his sansar, is a naked ascetic, he is in the jungle, but he is not worth worshipping. And Samyadrashti soul, on the other hand, is adored by the Devs. Now, why this? Because Samyak Darshan is the crux of path of liberation. That soul is still a Bahiratma, and this person has now become an Antaratma. He has got on the path, he has got on the right train, and the other persons are still wandering in the wrong paths. Okay. So now Grehi means a householder. He's still in the house. Pe graha me na rachejo. He lives in the house. Now, in these two lines, he is describing the internal state of a Samyadrashti Jeev, how he is still in the sansar. So he lives in the house, but he does not have ruchi. He does not have interest in the household activities. So if you have heard stories of Srimad Rajchandra or Kanji Swami, even Srimad Rajchandra ji in his business, he used to do Shastra Swadhyay. Okay, if some customer comes and he shows less interest in attending the customer and more interest in Swadhyaya of books. Gurudev Sri Kanji Swami in his, Sansari life, he used to sit in Dukan, and in the Dukan, he didn't tend to the customers. Backside where he used to do Swadhyaya of scriptures. So they are not interested in money and all those things. Their interest is completely in the path of liberation. So Gehi Pre Graha Mena Rachejo. So how? So for the example, they have given three examples. Jalate Bhinna Kamal Hai. The lotus stays in the pond, and yet even a droplet of water does not enter the lotus. We all have learned science, the waxy coating of the lotus, so the droplets remain distinct from the leaf. So, in the same way, how the lotus living in water is not at all, it is surrounded by water, and yet it is bhinna from the water. It is distinct from the water. Samyak Drashtiji lives in the house and yet is disinterested. Internally, he is only, inclined towards the soul and the path of liberation. Nagar Nari ko pyar. Now look at the example. Nagar Nari means a prostitute. Okay. So what is her love like? It is fake. She is interested in money. Her love towards her customers is absolutely fake. So Samyak Drashti's interest in the worldly matters is fake. He does not have real interest. He is still earning money because it is his duty and all, but not with real interest. It is, a kind of a fake thing. Then Kade mein hem amal hai. You have 100-gram gold biscuit and it falls in the mud. How much have you lost? What have you lost? Have you lost anything? Absolutely nothing. In contrast, a 100 rupee note falls in the gutter, your 100 rupees is gone, right? So, kade mein hem means gold. The gold can go in gutter, can go in the toilet, it can go anywhere, but you are sure not even 1 milligram of that gold is lost. Okay, you will easily clean it, right? In the same way, despite of being surrounded by passions and worldly responsibilities and everything, Samyak Drashti Jeev is Amal. There is no dosh. And in scriptures like Samay Sar and all, they have said, Gyani ke bhog nirjara ke hetu, which means even if he indulges in, uh, Sansar Bhog, like Bharat Chakravarti marrying 96,000 wives, still these Bhog are not causing Pap Bandh. They are actually doing Nirjara of previously bound Punya. So in the previous birth, there was excessive Punya karma, and by having this six regions, Chhah Khand ka Rajya and 96,000 queens and all of that, he is doing Nirjara of the previous Bhog. So despite of being surrounded by all of these, he is not impacted, he is not swayed from his true belief. Such is the situation of a Samyak Drashti Jeev who is in the fourth Gunasthan, Avirat Samyak Drashti. Okay. Jaini ji, read.
Yes. The person with right belief with vowless conduct is on the fourth stage of spiritual development. He is without the 25 force and with the 8 components of right faith. Even though he has fruition of the partial vow, prevention, passion, karma, and as a result,
This is
he does,
Apratyakhana Varan Kashaya. Partial vow prevention is Apratyakhana Varan Kashaya. Yeah. Go ahead.
and as a result, he does not even have even small restrained conduct. The heavenly angels adore this soul. Even though he remains in family life, he is detached from it. It is like the love of a prostitute gold in the mud or lotus remaining untouched by water.
Yeah. So now, after this stanza, I'm sure you all will understand that why Samyak Darshan is of utmost importance. So, a person who has Samyak Darshan does not bind a few categories of karma, as a result of which he does not take birth in certain life forms. Now, what are those? Pratham Narka Bin Shat Bhu. Apart from the first hell or the first narak, the remaining 6 narak, there are total 7 hells. Okay. So if the Samyak Drashti Jeev, if a Jeev has bound Narak Ayu before getting Samyak Darshan, he has already done some grave path before he became Samyak Drashti. But after becoming Samyak Drashti, he will still go to Narak, but he will not go to the lower hells. He will go only till the first Narak. Are we clear with this? There is a story of Shrenik Raja. He put a dead snake on Yashodhar Muniraj, as a result of which he bound Narak Ayu of the 7th Narak. Later on, Yashodhar Muniraj himself. So the story, okay, I'll say it in little detail. Shrenik Raja's wife was Chelna Rani, and she was a Jin Bhakt or a follower of Jain religion. Shrenik Raja was a Buddhist, follower of Bodh religion. Chelna Rani insulted the Buddhist monks, insulted in this sense, proved them wrong. So Shrenik Raja was quite angry at that. So he went in search of a guru of Chelna Rani. He found Yashodhar Muniraj meditating in the forest. So he said, now I'm going to teach him a lesson. So first he sent wild dogs at him. The dogs became very much silent in front of Muniraj. He got even angrier. He killed a snake and put the dead snake around the neck of the Muniraj. Then for 3 days, he did not say anything to his wife. After 3 days, he told his wife that, see what I did. I found one Pakhandi guru in the forest and I have done, so and so. And the Rani was aghast. She was like, what have you done? That Muniraj will be standing in the same posture for the 3 days. If you want, you come and see with me. So they both went, and Muniraj's entire body was covered with ants. There was a foul smell coming, and he was in the exact same position from the last 3 days. Looking at this, Shrenik Raja was surprised beyond this thing. Chilna Rani ordered the soldiers to, bring sugar so that all the ants would come down from his body, and they removed the dead snake and sat in front of him, joining their hands. Muniraj comes out from his meditation, because when there is upsarg, they are always in dhyan mudra. They don't engage in any other activities. So when the upsarg goes away, he came out and he gave Ashirvad to both the one who inflicted the torture and the one who removed it. Looking at this, Shrenik Raja, in his mind, he was repenting. So Muniraj, being a Manpariyai Gyani, he could read his thoughts, and he said that now don't regret on your past mistakes. You are still a pure soul, devoid of any imperfection. And with this Upadesh, Shrenik Raja got inclined towards Jain religion. Later, he went to Mahavir Swami's Samosharan and attained Shaikh Samyak Darshan. Now, his lifespan, he bound of what? Seventh hell. Because of Samyak Darshan, that seventh hell of 33 Sagar became only 84,000 years in the first hell. You understand the impact of Samyak Darshan? Your sentence is now remaining only a fraction. It is not like, it is, you can say, exponential decline. It is not a linear decrease in your karma. Exponentially karma jhad jate hain. Okay. So Pratham Narak wins Shatvu. So if you have bound Narak Ayu, then you will go to the first Narak. Otherwise, Samyak Drashti Jeev never ever go to Narak. Then Jyotish Van Bhavan. So these are the three: Jyotish Dev, Vyantar Dev, and Bhavanatrik Dev. Samyak Drashti Jeev will go to Devgati. They will go only in the topmost Vaimanik Dev. They will not go to these lower category of Dev. Shand means Napunsak or Hijda, this transgender. Nari, woman. They will not become transgender. They will not take birth as a woman. Women can get Samyak Darshan, but after Samyak Darshan, nobody will become a woman. So the things like Mallinath Bhagwan was a woman is absolutely false. It is Kevli's Avarnavad. We should never believe in these things, because Tirthankar becoming a Samyak Drashti Jeev doesn't become a woman. So Tirthankar becoming a woman is it's a very wrong thing to propagate. We should not listen to that. Sthavar. Sthavar means what? Five kinds of sthavar are there. Jal kai, Agni kai, Vanaspati kai, Vayu kai. So all these sthavar jeev, one sensed organism. Samyak drashti does not become that. Vikalatray, 2, 3, 4 sensed organism. They will not become. So sthavar vikalatray pashu mein nahi. Upujat samyak dhari. So see how much less in the 84 lakh yonis, how much less they are transmigrating. They don't go to the lower hells. They don't go from one sense to a Sangani Panchendriya Jeev. They don't go in the lower heavens also. Okay. So they only in Manushya also they will become Uttam Manushya. Beautiful body, good family, Jin Dharma Seva, everything. Uch Kul they will get. Now, if they have bound Tiryanch Ayu, before getting Samyak Darshan, they will become Tiryanch of Bhog. Okay, so they will only go to all these places, and in very few births, maximum 15, usually 3 or 4 births, they will certainly become Muni and get moksha. So Pratham Narak bin Shatabhu Jyotish Van Bhavan Shindanari Sthaval Vikalatraya Pashu mein nahi Upujat Samyak Dhari. They don't take birth here. Now, teen lok tihu kal mahi nahi darshan so sukhkari. In all the three universes, across all the three times, there is nothing which will generate happiness as what? Samyak darshan. Any effort you do, anywhere you go, you attain Chakravarti Pad, you become Raja, you get any damn thing. You will not get happiness until and unless you get Samyak darshan. So all your quest for happiness, it will come to end only when you get Samyak Darshan. And what is Samyak Darshan? It is the belief that I am a pure soul. You know? Aap Roop Mein Ruchi, we did in the beginning of first Dhal. Okay, so that Ruchi in the self, that firm belief in the self, that Shraddhan, that unwavering conviction that I am a pure soul, I am not the external associations, bodies, Kashai, flaws, all of these are external. I am a pure Trikali Dhruv Shuddhatma, unchangeable, undestructible, pure soul. That is what my true nature is. I am Anadi Anant. I cannot be destroyed. That kind of firm belief is Samyak Darshan, and that is the only thing which is causing happiness in all the three lok, in all the three times. Okay. Sakala dharma ko mool yahi. Dhansan mulla dhammo is one sutra of Kunkund Acharya Dev. Samyak Darshan is the root of all religion. Okay, if there is no root, there cannot be any tree. Can you grow a tree without a root? Yeah. So first you have to have the roots. What does the plant sprout first? It sprouts the roots, right? पहले root निकलता है ना? So that root is the first step. Without this, इस बिन करनी दुखकारी, you do any other effort, any other purusharth in the name of religion, in the name of happiness, it is only going to result in misery or sadness. Because this is the root of religion. Mithyatva is the root of sansar and samyaktva is the root of religion. So getting rid of mithyatva or getting rid of delusion and attaining the right belief is the only effort that you, me, everyone has to take in this world. This is the Purusharth which is the most important at the first stop. This is the first stop. Okay. Without going here, like without boarding the flight, you cannot reach your destination. Correct? तो फ्लाइट में तो चढ़ो पहले. Why are you thinking about the destination? So this is the main thing which you have to understand, and this is not only Chaydhala. You read Moksha Prakashak, you read Samaisar, all the Shastras unanimously state that Samyak Darshan is the first step towards the right religion, and without it, one cannot even move anywhere ahead. You do any form of external tap, austerity, dhyan, nothing is going to work out until you set your belief right. Okay. Um, who has not read? Jinali ji, please read.
A person with the right faith does not reincarnate in the following places. He does not go into the life of hell except for the first hell out of the seven. He also does not go into the celestial heavenly life of the mansion dwelling, wandering and stellar beings. He is not born as a hermaphrodite, woman, one sensed, two sensed, three sensed, or four sensed, or five sensed animals. In the three worlds of universe and in all the time of past, present, and future, there is nothing comparable to the bliss yielding right faith. This right faith is the root of religious life. Any religious activities without the right faith produce misery.
So now this is the last stanza in the third dhal. Okay, he is just reinforcing your faith that Samyak Darshan is something which is worth attaining. So what he is saying, मोक्ष महल की प्रथम सीढ़ी या बिन ज्ञान चरित्रा. So this on the ladder towards moksha mahal, this is the first step. Okay, first step of the ladder which you cannot skip. कि प्रथम सीढ़ी है या बिन ज्ञान चरित्र. Now without this, Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan, Samyak Charitra is the path of liberation. But without Samyak Darshan, no amount of knowledge. One might read the 11 Ang Nau Purva. Okay, so all these things are mentioned in scriptures. A person might attain the Gyan of 11 Anga, not of engineering and doctorate and all. Okay, so that is so very less. Agyar Ang means it encompasses a lot of things. So he may have knowledge, he may have memorized 11 Ang and now Purva ka Gyan, which is a lot, you cannot even comprehend. Or he may have attained the, taken Muni Diksha. So even if you do this without Samyak Darshan, you are going nowhere. Okay, so first step is Samyak Darshan. Without it, any amount of knowledge and any amount of Charitra is Mithya Gyan and Mithya Charitra. It is wrong knowledge and wrong belief. Now, one simple example is that the pots, the village women, they stack the pots, right, one above the other. If the first pot is ulta, the other pots, if you put straight, will they stand? Right? They will fall down. So that bottom pot is Samyak Darshan. Now, if that is Mithya, then above everything is Mithya. Okay. It's like a domino effect. The first domino falls, everything is fallen. So that first domino is this Samyak Darshan. Okay. So if Samyak Darshan is not there, anything, any effort, everything is waste. Okay. So Moksh Mahal ki pratham seedhi Yabin Gyan Charitra Samyak Tana Lahe. So Gyan and Charitra do not become right. Knowledge and conduct cannot be right without right faith. Okay. So Samyak Tana Lahe Sudarshan Dharo Bhavya Pavitra. So that is why first effort you get in attaining Samyak Darshan. Okay. Don't make efforts in charitra first or gyan first, because they will follow along. If your belief will be right, then as a byproduct, your indulgence in the sensory pleasures will become lesser. Your inclination towards gyan will become more. It is going to be a byproduct if you have this right faith. And even in the worldly life, can you do anything without faith? If you go to a doctor without believing that his medicine is going to work, can you even start your treatment? Just think about it. You don't believe that the doctor's medicine is going to work. Will you even go to the doctor? Right? So that belief, so even in this worldly life, belief is so important. The first step before doing any activity is that we believe in it, right? If you don't believe that these lectures are going to benefit to you, will you be motivated to attend them? So everywhere the belief counts. So in Mokshmarg also, your belief is the primary thing which needs to work on. And now, right now, the belief since infinity has been in the wrong direction. And that is why the Purusharth and the effort has also been in the wrong direction. Once you understand and make efforts in this direction, then certainly, your happiness is there. And by even inclining to understand this, you are already on the right path. अभी सिर्फ पुरुषार्थ करना है. The path you have found. You understand? You don't have to make the purusharth of finding the path. You have found it, but you have to believe in it, and you have to be, steadfast over here. Priyanka ji, I'll take the question after these two lines. Okay? So now, in the end, he is giving updesh to himself. Dol samajh sun chet sayane kaal vrutha mat khove. Don't waste time. Dol, Dalat, samajh, understand, listen, be aware. Chet means what? Be alert, be aware. Sayane, become wise. Kaal vrutha mat khove. Don't waste your time. यह नर भव फिर मिलन कठिन है जो सम्यक नहीं होवे. Now this line you should highlight and you should paste it. यह नर भव, this human birth is very rare to attain, and if you are going to waste it without samyak darshan, just imagine again when this opportunity is going to come. So every waking moment, be alert, be very vigilant and make effort in the right direction. Don't waste time behind all the, worthless pursuits. After 40, I will have so much money, then I will do dharma. After 60, I will retire, then I will do dharma. At that time, your eyes will not be as powerful. Your intellect will diminish. Your ability to grasp things will diminish. So the effort, you have to make it just now. Okay. And for all those who are past that age, don't worry. Jage tab se savera. Every time is a good time to make effort. But I'm motivating these younger people not to get swayed in the false paths, because moh ki mahima aisi hai, everywhere around you, people are getting cars and houses and things, and they are running behind that. You, the wise people, dal samajh sun chet sayane, become intelligent and understand where your true benefit lies and make the effort in the right direction. And in one lecture, I had heard this Dol, Samaj, Sun, Chet, Sayane stands for the five Labdhis before Samyak Darshan. Have you heard of five Labdhi? So one who attains Samyak Darshan attains after getting those five Labdhis. So they are Shayoksham, Vishuddhi, Deshna, Prayogya, and Karan Labdhi. So Shayoksham means the ability to understand. Okay. Vishuddhi means having that mild state of passions in which you can understand. Okay, Vishuddha Bhav. One cannot understand sermons when they have very sinful tendencies. Sun means getting the true sermons and understanding them. Chet. Chet is Prayogya Labdhi. Now you are being alert in your self-awareness. And then Sayana means you are becoming Samyak Drashti. So one who gets Karan Labdhi becomes a Samyak Drashti Jeev. This is a very short description. It is a very long topic, but I'm just saying. So it is connected to these words. Dol samaj sun chet sayane kal vrathamat hoye. So with these five labdhis, you don't waste time and try and get Samyak Darshan. And this human birth is very rare. Please don't waste it and go in the right direction. Um, okay, read, Jaini ji, read.
Yeah, just this right faith is the first step to the palace of liberation. Knowledge and conduct cannot become right without the right faith. Any knowledge prior to right faith is wrong knowledge, and any conduct is wrong conduct. Therefore, every worthy soul must obtain the real right faith first. Pandit Daulat Ram Ji now addresses his soul and says that, "O my dear discriminative soul, please listen from the experienced enlightened soul, understand and then awake. Please do not waste the precious human life. If one loses the chance to obtain the right faith in this life, then it will be a very long time before the human life comes back again."
Okay, so this ends the third dhal. Tomorrow we will start with the fourth dhal. Now, any questions? Yes. Priyanka.
Sorry, just wanted to clarify real quick. So, a female in the birth, in the human birth, can achieve Samyak Darshan.
Yes.
Okay.
Samyak Darshan, okay, any soul in all the four states of existence who has panch indriya, Sangani Panchendriya Jeev, or five senses with the mind can achieve Samyak Darshan. So even the animals can achieve Samyak Darshan. Like you might have heard story of Mahavir Bhagwan attaining Samyak Darshan as a lion, Parshvanath Bhagwan in the birth of an elephant. So animals can attain. Narki Jeev, in all the seven naraks, there are Asankhyat Samyak Drashti Jeev. Okay, so because they are Sangani Panchendriya, in Narak also you can attain Samyak Darshan. But after Samyak Darshan, you will not go to Narak. In Devgati also, all the four kinds of Dev attain Samyak Darshan. And in humans, all can attain Samyak Darshan, but you cannot go to Moksha in the Stri Paryay. Okay?
And if we attain Samyak Darshan, then we have a rebirth. Then we have to start all over again.
No. That Samyak Darshan stays in the next birth. So the destruction of Vithyatva and Anantanubandhi Kashaya. So you will go to the next birth with Samyak Darshan. Like you must have heard Tirthankar Bhagwan stories in the Garb also, they are Teen Gyanthari. They have Avdi Gyan also. So that knowledge carries over. Okay, so Samyak Darshan is not lost. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else?
No.
So yeah, after some
Yeah.
so when you in the rebirth after Samyak Darshan, you are born as human only.
So humans will be going to Vaimanik Dev. Vaimanik Dev will come in humans. Okay. So
But
your births will oscillate between human and the highest. There are four kinds of devs. The highest dev is Vaimanik Dev, the Empyrean beings. So you will go in that Dev Gati, in the higher heavens itself. You will not go in the lower heavens. Okay. And that too in the topper, matlab, higher positions. And or you will become human and human in a good family with all the body parts. People, Samyak Drashti, you don't become deaf, dumb, blind, or have any kind of malfunctioning, or in a niche kul. They don't take birth like that. They will take birth in uch kul with all the beautiful body and all of those things. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah, Priyanka.
Sorry, Vijay ji, if no one else is going. Just one last clarification. That last bit that you mentioned, that five Avdi. What was that? Like, if five these things are there.
Labdi. Ha, panch labdi.
Labdi. Labdi.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you just clarify
Yeah,
that
so
one
these are
more time?
like, yeah. So these are like the five attainments, or you can say some kind of a power. A person who will get Samyak Darshan will certainly have these five. Okay. So first is Kshayopsham Labdhi. So in short, I will just say it is the ability to understand. Okay. Like one sensed organism does not have the ability to understand. Right? You give Updesh to an ant, will it understand? No. So that is Kshayopsham Labdhi. Vishuddhi is the mildest state of passions. Someone who is, having a lot of passions, is committing a murder, and you give him Updesh, that moment he will not understand. He might just kill you. Understand? So Vishuddhata, or the milder form of passions, is the second one. Third is Deshna Labdhi. Somebody who has Kshayopsham and Vishuddhata will find Nimit in the form of Devshastra Guru, who will give Deshna, means true Updesh. They will give the true sermons, and the ability to understand and reflect on that sermon is Deshna Labdhi. Deshna, and my ability to grasp it is Deshna Labdhi. Okay, because Labdhi is my thing. Deshna is an external thing. The fourth one is prayogya. Now, after the sermons, the internal thing starts, the contemplation, reflection. You make those attempts to experience the soul. So that is prayogya labdhi. And the last one is karan labdhi. Karan labdhi is like, you enter, you will come out with samyak darshan. All these labdhis last for antar muhurat or less than 48 minutes. And they are, one after the other rapidly. And it is also dependent on the इफेक्ट्स ऑफ कर्म लाइक दर्शन मोहनीय कर्म का जो है फैक्टर उसमें जीव के परिणाम सो दीज आर ऑल कोरिलेटेड सो दिस इज अ कर्णानुयोग टॉपिक and right now I don't think you will be able to understand it deeply so I won't confuse you but more or less these are the state of five labdhis and the soul who gets these five labdhis will become a samyak drishti for sure.
I have a
Thank you.
question. Is
Yeah.
Dhala in Pratmanu Yoga or what is it? Like,
So the beauty of this composition is actually it has a good balance of all the four anuyogs. If you will see, because there is a lot of karnanuyog in that. There is also dravyanuyog because it describes the seven tattva, chha dravya, and Ved Vigyan and things. Then later you will see it also describes Shravak ke vrat, Muni ke vrat, which has elements of charnanuyog. So that is why it is like a very shortcut to Jinwani because it has the blend of all the four anuyogs. Yeah.
So for
Janani, you want to say?
for Samyak Darshan, meditation is the only path.
Meditation से पहले तत्व विचार. First, you understand the nature of the seven elements. What is Jeev, Ajeev, Ashravan, Samvar, Nirjara, Moksha. Then reflect on that. That I am this Jeev. All these external things are
But
Ajeev.
somebody
Do
who
Bhed
is not
Vigyan.
interested in these things, but then he meditates.
Then what will you meditate on? Without the right knowledge, what will you meditate on? Meditate on Om, the sound of Om. That will not be
Yeah,
Samyak
I
Darshan.
mean, just close your eyes and listen to the music or anything. And
Nothing.
then,
No. No. Tattva vichar. Okay, tattva means what? The tattvas, the elements as described by Jinendra Bhagwan, I understand, I reflect, I contemplate, and I align my belief with that. When Bhagwan is saying, I am a pure Shuddhatma, I believe that. And not that I am this body and I am this family and blah, blah, blah. You understand? You are dukhi because of Mithya Darshan. How will you become sukhi with meditation? You have to, get rid of Mithyatva and attain Samyaktva. And the only way is by this true reflection. Yeah.
We don't have to become Aryaka, right? We can
Not
achieve
now.
Samyak Darshan with that. Okay.
First, yes. I already said, Grahi pe grah mein na rache jo jalde bin kamal hai. Remember, he is in the house. Externally, you cannot distinguish. You cannot tell this person is Samyak Drashti or not. He has his family. Bharat Chakravarti was a Samyak Drashti. He had 6 kingdoms. मतलब 6 खंड का राज्य. 6 kingdoms नहीं, 6 खंड. Okay, he had 96,000 wives. And he attained moksha in the same birth. Ramchandra ji, he went to, save Sita from Ravan. He is fighting a war. He is also Shaikh Samyak Drashti. So, Samyak Darshan is your internal belief. External activities are not that, important. That is why first this. Now, when your belief is true, what will happen? Slowly, externally also your interest in these passions will go on diminishing. It is a gradual process. Samyak Darshan एक झटके में होता है, but Samyak Charitra follows a path of Gunasthan. First, Anantanubandhi goes, and Pratyakhyanavarana goes. So that is a gradual process. But Samyak Darshan is either Mithya Darshan or Samyak Darshan. There is no gradual or gradation.
But Samyak Charitra comes after Samyak Darshan, no?
Okay, so from the real point of view, Darshan, Gyan, Charitra, all the three are at the same moment. They are the three attributes of the soul. So when that state of Atmanubhav is attained, belief become right, knowledge becomes Samyak Gyan, and there is, because Anantanubandhi Kashai has gone, there is a partial purity in Charitra. So that is also Samyak Charitra, but it is partial. It is not complete. Anantanubandhi Kashai has gone. So that Charitra Gun ki jo shuddhta hui, the purity that has, come, manifested. So that is Samyak Charitra, but it is very partial. And it does not get the name Charitra because there is no vrat. But that internal engagement within the soul is also charitra. It is the charitra of the soul.
Okay.
Okay. We are so
Okay.
used to associating charitra with vrat and everything that we don't, we fail to recognize that Atma and Sharir are different. They are bhin. Charitra is Atma's gun. It is the quality of the soul and not of the body. It does not come from the body. But the purity of the soul will result in those activities in the body. Okay, it is ulta. Outer activities से soul purify नहीं होता है. By doing all these activities, the soul doesn't get pure. But if the soul gets pure, the activities as a result will improve.
Okay.
Understand?
Thank
Yeah, makes
Thank you.
sense?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So we will meet for class tomorrow at the same time and we will start with the fourth dhala, which will describe Samyak Gyan. Okay? So Jinwani Stuti. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है इसके लिए जनवाणी माँ को वंदना शतबार है जा वाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालो सो वाणी मस्तक नमो सदा दे तुम जय जिनेन्द्र।